All right. Just want to go over a few definitions. What we're going to do is come out of, this is Israel Regardie. This has to do with Crawley. And what we're going to do is look at the definition right here of medium. It says a medium. And remember, these books were written for idiots. You know, it says, we're going to read this definition and then we'll break it down. It says in spiritualism, a person who acts as a channel between the living and the dead. The medium allows the spirit to temporarily take control of his or her body in order to speak to the living. Okay, so look, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to write this. And this is, we're going to read the first part again. In spiritualism, a demon who acts as a channel, not a person, a demon who acts as a channel between the living and the dead. The medium allows the spirit, the demon, to temporarily take control of his or her body in order to speak to the living. To speak to the living. So we've got this brand, which is a force. You understand? This child's going to get a medium drink. Okay? This drink acts as a medium. And then what does this cause within that child? Slowly, over time. If you can get honest, it causes that right there. So that would be, it's black magic. So actually it would be this. It would be the Black Path Magicians, and then it would be this, the Black Path TV, and then humans. So they create this cast, this black magic, and they put it together, and then they channel it through the TV, and then the goy receives this. And then let's see what channeling is. We're just using their own shit. Channeling right here. The process used by demons and other mediums to communicate with other spirits by letting the spirit temporarily inhabit the body of the channeler and speak using his or her mouth. And we all know movie lines. So when we repeat that, and it's, you know, it's all fun and games, but it's real. Okay? So the eyes are channeling in what they are. And then these are, the advertisements are not what you think. That's a medium. The sign is a medium. It's a force. They created the billboards to move this human in a direction. So it would be, let's see if they've got a, telekinesis, no. Telekinesis and telekinetic is moving an object without touching it. Okay, television, telekinesis, telephone, you're talking to somebody, so the phone's a medium. So this person is are you starting to understand that? This all has to do with humans. So it's black magic. Okay? When we get into Saturn, Mars, I'm just going to put a few of these, the moon, the sun, and so on. These are channels to those life forms out there, channeling in this magnetic field. So the black magicians, Black Path, are channeling into these life forms. Those are life forms. But these life forms were created to harvest their souls. Because we're way beyond everything. We're way beyond what we once were. But there was another word, chanting. It's right underneath channeling. The repetition of words or sounds in a rhythmic fashion for the purpose of inducing an altered state of consciousness. That's why these cartoons, within the screens, they're mediums. So there's children, it's not innocent. They're programming these little and see, there's the word anima right there. A-N-I-M-A. And it's Latin for soul. You add an L to it, and you've got animal. But you have anima, like cartoons and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. They're telling you right there that they're creating these souls. It's a medium. The screen is a medium. And the optic nerve. This man has pissed so many people off on Facebook. Look at what we did. We went and bought a damn cookie and put number one dummies on it. D-U-M-E-Z. Yeah, because I'm not backing out. Because they're bringing all their... And the whole thing is it's a trap. Not for him, for them. To see how they come out of it. Because there's... It's the whole thing. When you produce shit like this to this controlled mind that has no soul or spirit in it, it's just all screen. They get to a certain age and then there's no growth, there's no critical thinking. It's just an everyday repetition of bullshit. And then they're eating chemicals, eating this shit, sitting in front of screens. The anatomy shuts down. They keep watching these billboards. It walks them into these fucking structures called hospitals. And then the only reason they're there is because their anatomy has never fucking moved. And because of what they ate and drank. But yet, what's inside of them over and 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 over in a medium of black magic, it will not let them out of the prison that they're in, of literally the cube of 3, which would be 27. By the time that the average human here now in this world is 27, after that age, there's no more learning. I mean, if there is, it's only to memorize some shit for whatever it is they need to get. There's no drive in that human goy to do what we're doing, basically. Because the black magic is set. You understand? So let's just look at a few other words. Yeah, chanting, it all has to do with getting your the oil on your spinal cord too, that goes into your brain on another level too, that nobody ever talks about. License. Okay. Here's license to depart right here. You see that? Okay, in this society, you have a license department. Okay, that license department is controlled by these Black Path magicians. So it's a medium for you to get privilege in order to obtain, driving, whatever. But when we're looking at black magic and we're looking at invoking demons, okay, once the ritual is complete, then there has to be a license to depart. And what that means is you tell these little demons to go be obedient, and when the next time you need them, you're going to call them. And that's the thing is the license department you go to, you got to be obedient or you lose. You see what I mean? So the unseen is the seen. You just fucking don't know it. You're literally fucking, it's like, it should like drill you, but it doesn't. That's the thing is these impulses. He posted on Facebook and he said, if you respond to any negative comment, then that means Matt controls the impulses in your blood. And they're so fucking ignorant, they don't understand that. They're reacting to a lifetime of programming. They're reacting to who they are. They're reacting the only way that they know how to react, and that's to fucking swarm mode. Matrix, it's real shit. Go back and watch it. Swarm mode. That's these, when people come at you, that's who they are. It's the asleep. It's the fucking Arimans. But here it says, grants a demon entity permission to leave the circle or temple after the work of magic has been completed. So once you fill out all of your black magic shit and you sign your name, which is a force, then you're granted permission to leave the temple, which is the fucking structure, the department. Depart mind. Mind is departing from it's all has to do with the unseen. It's crazy how ignorant everybody is. It truthfully is. It scares you though. And see, it gets into the magic square, but I really don't want to get into that. A ritual. So we're going to look at the word ritual. It says, a formalized ceremony, including a series of actions, physical as well as mental, which results in the release of magical energy and fulfillment of a specific object. So a ritual would be, it would be at night. These goy. So a ritual would be, they're going to go inside. Remember, you've got to open up your soul to receive black magic. So they're going to go in at night, every human. And they're going to watch this. And then they're going to go in there and they're going to open their cabinet and they're going to take these little plastic bottles out and take these little things in them that have numbers on them that are black magic demons. So what they're going to do is go in there and take them, and it's going to get in their blood and alter their state of sleep and everything and their whole life. Okay? And some of them that go, those numbers represent the rituals of blood sacrifice from not even fucking being there. And they willingly do it to themselves. That's a ritual. And then they wake up and take that shit again. And then they repeat it day after day. It's a disgusting, nasty cycle. And as a demon, that part hybrid that Matt can morph into, is beautiful. It's not hard to set up a community as you know it, or a town. But you got to take away everything that your brains are into now, because the billboards and all the images is just, you've absorbed it. That's who you are, and you cannot understand. You do not have it in you. Those of you struggling, like watching this, that have watched some of the videos, something's holding on. You know, and the last part that you've got to get rid of, it's you have to identify it. And if we're going to put a name on it, because there's no names on the other side, but there is rank and all that other shit, just like here. Okay, so you've got to get rid of these luciferic and arimonic impulses that we were born with and then watered with through screens, billboards, and pills and drinks and foods and all that other shit. So you don't understand, to get out, you've got to literally go back through your whole life and each day be constant in pondering and thinking, something that you can't do, because this thing is designed. It's designed to you know, the brain is so, it's just, you know, you go from from landlines to the TV, and then to the typewriter, and then to a video game, and then to a computer, and then to phones with a fucking TV, and now TVs everywhere. And every store you went in had TVs. TVs were the first in the fucking, they pushed those big, and the phones got to make sure that that the brain is designed into this device generationally. And through those generations, the channeling of the black magic. It's each family unit is a black magic cell that represents our resource, which would be your blood. Spirit's been gone since 869. Yeah, that's when the surface, which would be the Catholic Church, said that, you know what, we're going to have icons. We're going to have pictures of Jesus, which is, when you throw that on a wall and that's God, then that takes away from spirit, which would be nature. So, and then each century you're going to throw whatever it is. Listen, I don't have enough time to fucking tell you like in detail. I could tell you, I've seen it all. Like I'm telling you, you'll be given shit. That's why they give you these pills, is to make sure that something like this never fucking happens. But this is beyond him. It really is. But the only thing he can do is just, he's a medium for what they've kept from you. Okay? So but he's telling you that, listen, we got to go back 500 years to what they call the Inquisition, and then you got to understand there's some shit that went on the other side as far as battles going with unseen fucking beings of hierarchical nature, to get ready for what happened in the middle of the 1800s and what was going to get cast out from over there, which brings up that word cast. They forecast the weather. You've got a cast of characters. They use this word so freely, and to the average goy, it's just a word. But remember, words have force and meaning, which would be this, a seagull. And so the same way you cast arms in a cast from being broke, you're going to mold it. Well, you mold these people. They control the weather. That's why there's no careers in schools. You're not taught any of that shit. Space or news, none of that shit. None of it. It's very selective. So, when they destroyed everything and covered it up, we as demons said, okay, we're going to use their resources in the lowest form of nature. We're going to use wood and build shit, and 100 years it'll be rotten, and then we'll eventually build all these newer fucking fake cells of demons. It's easy to see it. So a sigil, however it is you want to pronounce it. Right here. It says a seal, sign, or signature. A symbol used to represent a demon force, such as an angel. Ours is in the sand dollars have pentagrams. That's ours. Okay, so there's nothing good. Like they're not telling you shit in this. This is for an intellectual mind to grab this and be like, oh, I'm into some shit now. It's like, you a fucking dummy and you an idiot. We created the printing press. That's what I'm saying. Y'all that's having a hard time, you got to go back and think about how lost humanity was when they fucking destroyed everything and just made us lost forever. And then somehow, oh, look, we invented this printing press out of death because it represents, death. And the press represents, what they can print. Then you can alter the mind for generations and then condition the souls. And oh, it's fucking disgusting. So a symbol used to represent a demon force, such as an angel, an archangel, or a divine name of God, which to them would be the opposite of what we have. Any word or Any name or word can be made into a sigil. And see, it actually means a seal, a sign, or a signature. So that's what you do. You represent a force. So if you're summoned to court, okay, that in summoning the dead, let's see, you're summoned to court. Let's see. I don't know if it'd be in here. There it is. No, it's not in here. When you're summoned to court, you summon the dead through these rituals. So that represents you're already dead. So when you sign a force, you're signing your last name, which is your surname. Okay? In Black's Law Dictionary, the surname is above and beyond the Christian name. And in the scripture, it says you can't worship two masters, but yet we worship the last name, which would be the slave name. So when we sign this, we represent the last name, registered name, which means you're already dead. And you don't fucking know that. It's that easy. And in the traditional courtrooms, it was 6 feet. The judge was above the defendant. You understand? And it's all maritime law. It all has to do with water. You're on a ship. Certain times judges can call recess and shit, get them on abandoning ship. You got to know like the in-depth ancient details of like this Phoenician system that's been going on forever. And it is so fucking, but see, it's gone. They're to the end now to where they're creating this one world, AI, blood, soul through all. I mean, it's been centuries in the making and millennium after millennium, coinciding with what's above your head. Certain forces coming in, which would be fucking demon. And there's a certain faction that knows all this, that can talk, that has a connection to the other side, just like you talk to somebody on the phone. It's, where do you think all these ideals and these dark shows they have on Netflix and these movie channels, they are fucking dark. Do you think this shit was just made up? Like it's just made up, like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter came right at 2001. That's getting this mindset of this soul going into the millennium, and from 2000, from January 1st of 2000 until December 31st of 2999. So eventually it'll be the same soul that goes to the other side when it ceases to exist here, with everything the same uploaded into it that these Black Path magicians do to create this demon sphere. It should make complete fucking sense, but it doesn't. Okay, a ship is in the water in the canal. It's coming down the canal. The baby's in a canal, a vaginal canal. The ship docks, D-O-C, at its birth, B-E-R-T-H. The woman goes to the doctor to give birth, B-I-R-T-H. Okay? Both of these are on water. Okay? This ship produces cargo. This mother produces cargo. Okay? They're both on land now. This goes to a warehouse, a waiting room. This baby goes to a waiting room, which is a warehouse. They're both documented and registered and numbered, and they're both commerce. It's that fucking easy. Okay? And when you point that out to women, see, then you get into the doctor is a medium for the hospital. You understand? They only know a system that these fuckers Black Path gave them, and they think that it's real. We got Jesus fake satanic church there. It's not real. It's not real. They've been designed inside. Do you understand? And so these fucking dumb goy right here, they've grown up. Well, that's real. It's like, no, it's not. It's not real. Okay? And the more that these goy hold on to these, that's what goes with them. And then that's what our thing is. We upload so much pride into them that they would rather fucking We give them those emotions of, I'm right. God damn, I'll go to the grave with this. I'm right. Go. That is way more shit for us. Now, if everybody put the gadgets down at one night, like Matt's trying to get people to do, it would fucking collapse. I love you.